Welcome back, my sunshiny friends. Are you just starting a weight loss journey? Are you considering a weight loss journey but just not sure if it's time? Are you over 50? Are you over 60? Are you getting up there into our best times of our lives, years? This is the time for you to begin your journey, and I am going to give you 6 reasons why I think now is the best time of our lives to get started. So stick around and let's talk. Hello, my friends. I am Cheryl. This is my channel where I have been documenting for 16 months my weight loss journey with the help and aid of my friend that I cannot find. Where is my bestie, my partner in crime? There she is back here. I have been taking Zepbound, looks like this, a GLP-1 medication for 16 months, losing 70 pounds thus far. The inches that I have lost is crazy. Go back in my playlist and look from the beginning, look at some of there's before and afters. There's, even just go look at like my very first video and then look at me now. It took a lot for me to begin this journey, and I think I just needed to wait until the time was right to actually be able to focus on myself and my weight loss. So I am here to give you 6 reasons why I think now, whether you're 40, 50, 60, whatever the case may be, why I think now is the perfect time to start, and why 51 ended up being a perfect time for me to start. I will be 53 this coming August, so in about a month and a half. I began this journey February 27th of 2024, and I was 51 years old at that point. So let's just jump right in, shall we? First and foremost, time. I don't care who you are, at what stage in your life. Our 30s and 40s are a really, really super busy time. Let's just face it. When we're in our 20s, we're not as focused on ourselves or anything around us. We're just doing our thing and having as much fun as we can. A lot of us, not all of us. My son is 28, very responsible, doing everything that he needs to do. But for the most part, I know for me, when I was in my 20s, I was, everything else was more important, especially my early 20s. But now that I have 2 full-grown children and 1 in high school, I definitely have time. So number 1, time. It's important. If we don't have the time to focus on all of the things we need to focus on to lose weight, it just gets away from us. So I know for me, and I'm sure for a lot of my friends out here, raising a family is very time consuming, and you become enthralled in all of it, and all of a sudden 8 years has passed, 12 years has passed, 20 years has passed, and you're like, holy crap, I'm 200 pounds, I'm 219 pounds, and I'm miserable and I'm unhealthy, and things just really get away from you because you focus so much on everybody else's needs for such a long period of time. So for me, personally, I know that that was a big one. And once my youngest became a lot more self-sufficient and didn't need me every moment of the day, I was able to start kind of focusing more on what needed to be done. And I started going to the doctor and, checking in on different things, and finally pulled the plug to begin a GLP-1 and focus on myself. And this is the first time in my entire life, in over 50 years, that I have consistently done something and followed through with it on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, now over a year basis, to continue on the same path and stay healthy and do the things that I need to do to continue to lose weight. So time was just really big. And I am quite certain for many of you, especially if you are parents, grandparents, guardians, it kind of falls into wives, husbands. It just falls all into the same thing. You just become focused on your family, whether it's your spouse, your parents. You might be taking care of your parent, or a family member, or somebody that can't take care of themselves, and you just lose focus on yourself. It's hard. It's hard to find time to make yourself a priority. So I definitely found over 50, I was able to redo my schedule to find time for myself. So number one, big one, time. Number two, health in general. You start to get to a certain age and you realize that for a very long time, you have put your health on the back burner. And I know that's what I did. I would have something going on and, in my head, I was like, I know I'm not dying, I'm fine. But your son gets a runny nose and there you are off to the doctor. Or, their shoulder hurts and there you are at the emergency room for x-rays. My mother called, she was at the hospital a year or so ago, and I was in the middle of something, but dropped everything that I was doing and spent the next 6 hours there. So it's very easy to, again, focus on everybody else and not yourself. So I do find now that I am 50, I started to get more concerned and realize that I have put a lot of my own health on the back burner for so very long that I needed to check in and see what was up. And it wasn't until then that it came to fruition that I had CKD. I have chronic kidney disease and have probably had it for quite some time, probably since 2012, but I didn't actually know it until 2024. And that's a whole other story. You can go watch one of those videos. But when you're not focused on yourself and on your health, things start to go to the wayside. And you get to a certain age, and I'm just going to use 50. Maybe for you it's 35. Maybe it's 65. For my dad, it was 80. Where you realize, okay, I haven't focused enough on my own health, and I need to do that for myself and for my family, for my spouse, for my parents. If I'm going to be able to be there for them in their elder years, I need to be able to be healthy enough to do that. So I do my physical regularly now. I say regularly. This will be my second consecutive year if I don't cancel my July appointment, which I won't. And I have seen my doctor 3 times in the past year. I have had my blood work done regularly. I have had ultrasounds of my kidneys performed. I have had MRIs. So I am taking a greater look at my own health and well-being. And I just kind of feel like it's something that's tricky that you put off for a very long time. But it's a great way, a great reason to start your health journey now to get healthier. And these GLP-1s have just been miracles for me and for many people. My health has improved significantly since losing 70 pounds with the help of Zepbound. My fatty liver disease is gone. I am no longer in cardiac risk. So there's lots of things that you need to worry about when we're heavy, right? Number one being diabetes. A lot of people end up on these medications because they have a really high A1C. I was borderline pre-diabetic. I wasn't quite classified as pre-diabetic yet, but I was like a half a second away from being pre-diabetic. I had horrific joint issues. A lot of people with weight problems have terrible joint issues, terrible mobility issues. That was me. I was people. And a lot of people have fatty liver disease and risk of cardiac problems. So losing weight has cleared up all of those issues. My CKD is stable, and my fatty liver disease is gone, and my cardiac risk is no longer. So that's all from waking up, a little after the age of 50 and realizing I need to make some changes. And it's not too late, because I was able to erase some of those things that I thought that was it. I was just predisposed to. I figured, okay, I have fatty liver disease. I've been heavy my entire life. That's it. There's a good chance I'll have a stroke or a heart attack at some point because I'm at cardiac risk. Those are wiped from my chart. They're no longer flashing in red when I go into the portal. So it's not too late. Trust me, if it is not too late for me, it is not too late for you. You can still rectify some of these medical issues. So call your doctor and get on board, and let's get moving with that. Okay. Number 3, third reason to begin a GLP-1 journey now at the age of 50, possibility of grandkids, guys and gals. That for me was my why. When I had my daughter-in-law's baby shower and looked at the pictures that February, it was literally less than 2 weeks. It was about 12 or 10 or 11 days after the baby shower when I took my first shot. This was the baby shower, and this is the picture that made me realize I really, really had to do something. It was awful. When I saw those pictures from the shower, and they're in a video somewhere, I was just mortified at how big I was. And the thought that this little sweet baby was going to come into the world and I was going to be sitting on a couch, unable to do anything with him. My biggest fear at that point, when I realized that in the next couple of months I was going to be a grandmother, was I was not going to be able to get on the floor and play with this baby. And that broke my heart. It absolutely, positively broke my heart. And I have video footage that I have shared with you guys. I get on the floor and I crawl around and I play with that baby any chance I get. We're going on vacation together in July, and I cannot wait to sit on the beach and build sandcastles with him. It has been nothing short of a miracle as far as I'm concerned, because I could not kneel on the floor. I've told the story a gazillion times where I dropped my phone, it went under the bed, and I could not get my phone. My youngest son had to come into the room and get the phone for me, because I knew if I got on the floor, my knees were so swollen and they were so bad, I could not bend my knee to put pressure on it to get up off the floor. And I knew I would not be able to get off the floor. Like, God forbid something happened to the baby and I was down there, I couldn't get back up. Like, what was I going to do? And these thoughts just, they were swirling in my head, something fierce. This right here is the reason that I am able to do the things I need to do every day. My grandson and my great niece make it all worthwhile. And I just don't know what I would do sometimes without them, but they're my why. Who's that? Go, go, go!
Make sure you subscribe to the video for our channel.
Okay, number 4. Maybe you're gonna start traveling more. You know, we get a little bit older, the kids are grown, the kids are out of the house. we've saved more money, we, have consolidated our bills or invested at different points or whatever the case may be, and we want to start traveling more. And traveling at a certain weight can be tricky, more expensive, exhausting. It can be, lots and lots of things. So travel, once you get to a certain point, maybe you're looking towards retirement. Maybe you're really always dreamed of, downsizing a little bit and going RVing for a year or two once you hit retirement age. And the thought of that, being a little bit fluffier in those confined spaces can be difficult. The thought of air travel, when we're at a certain weight, can be constricting and expensive and just right, hard to do. When you're traveling long periods of time, swelling becomes a real problem. Mobility issues and travel, if you want to travel internationally and start doing these tours and different things like that, it's very, very difficult to do when we're at a certain weight. So, you get to a point in life where you start realizing that you've been working your whole life, but what are you working for? For me, I really want to be there for my grandkids and I want to be able to travel more. I've never really been one to think about international travel. It was not something that was ever on my mind much. And my youngest son has talked about it often. Hold on. So definitely think about the future and things that you might want to do, which brings me right into number 5, which is retirement. So, now is the time to start thinking ahead. And we don't want to be retired and put out to pasture and just like on the couch to die, right? I feel like this is the best time of my life. I have never been fitter, more energetic, had more energy, been happier, really. I'm out shopping. I'm wanting to do things. I'm doing things with my grandkids. I'm doing things with my kid. We put up the pool. I'm out there every day cleaning the pool and doing things, things that I just never really anticipated. But the more I think about it is the more I think about the future and think about the possibility of traveling and maybe even traveling abroad and, doing these different things. I don't want to be 65 and just, that's it, I'm done with my life. My life is starting now, and I want the next 30 years to be as amazing as they are right this minute. So start thinking about retirement. And if you start thinking about it now, I always was of that mindset that I had so much weight to lose. It was going to take so long, and never really fully thought that if I got rid of that mindset, that time would go by. Like, I look at it now and it's been a year and I feel like it was yesterday that I started, and it's been 16 months and it has been the most amazing 16 months of my life. And I just think about all the time that I lost putting it off. So I encourage you to not put it off and think about your future and think about retirement and think about all of these things now, because now truly is the best time of your life. Number 6 is, one of those things that we don't want to think about, but we do need to think about. And number 6 is insurance, whether it be health or life. Your health plays a huge part in both. So, this could be a point in life where you could be getting ready to change insurances, whether it be that you're retiring or considering a new job. And things might be changing sooner rather than later. You might be changing something soon where those already pre-existing things may or may not be covered. So you could be going from one insurance to another, and you're pre-diabetic, and your insurance now could be covering you, but your insurance later may not. So these are all things that as we get older, we really need to think about. You know, when we're in our 20s and 30s, these things don't matter. But I feel like we get to like, you know, mid 40s, 45, and kind of over that hump there, and these things all become important. Life insurance becomes a big thing that we need to be thinking about if we have family, especially. And you know, the heavier we are and the more health issues that we have, the harder it is to secure that insurance for our families, and the harder or the more expensive it's going to be to get it. So yeah, we might get it, but it's going to cost us way more than it's going to cost other people. So this is something that I think is really, really important to start looking at, you know, especially if you're over 50 now, to really start looking into. And, you know, maybe this is a motivator for you. Maybe this is a reason, if you price it out now and you're pre-diabetic with fatty liver disease at high risk of cardiac issues, your insurance premium for life insurance for your family and loved ones is going to be significantly different than if you don't have those issues. So it's just something to think about and something to maybe start taking control of now. So yeah, those are my 6 reasons why I think it is a great time for you right now to begin your health journey, whether it's weight loss with or without a GLP-1, whether it's just getting your life on track as far as your health is concerned. You know, I'm not telling everybody to go join a gym, jump on the scale, start losing weight and working out every day. That's not everybody's journey. It's not my journey. My journey has been losing weight with the help of this. I would not be able to do it without it. Don't really work out. That's a work in progress. But these are all things that we just need to start thinking about. And these are 6 reasons for me personally that I have begun my journey. So I encourage you to, you know, do a little bit of an inventory and start seeing what's important to you. And, you know, maybe it's time to, maybe you have the time now. Maybe you have the why now. Maybe you have the pre-existing health condition that you want to get rid of. But definitely start having some serious conversations with yourself and your loved ones. So that, my friend, are my 6 reasons why I think now is the perfect time to put you first. I have done so, and I am thrilled with how far I've come in the past 16 months. So I thank you all so much for being here. I hope you got a little bit out of this, enjoyed this video. If you did, I encourage you to like it, share it with friends who you think may also benefit. And if you haven't already, go and hit that subscribe button. It really does help me and helps the channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. Remember, my friends, when you can't find the sunshine, you be the sunshine. Bye.